Interesting topic today, guys, and this will be a fun one to share with people because this is a topic of discussion right now. I want to talk about a really great example of a gay character that appeared in a live-action Marvel movie and kind of examine why it is that this character works so well. Truthfully, it was my favorite character in the movie. I like this character more so than the title character. And, we're seeing so much, mainly from DC right now, but from DC and Marvel. So anyway, the movie that we're talking about is The Punisher, the one starring Tom Jane from 2004, and the character in particular is Quentin Glass. Now, if you are familiar with the movie and need a refresher, or if you're not familiar with the movie, spoilers ahead, Quentin is basically the right-hand man, the best friend, and the enforcer of Howard Saint, played by John Travolta. Quentin is just this ruthless guy. So we're going to break it down. We're going to look at 5 key reasons, and you're definitely going to want to stick around for all 5. Reasons why this character, in my opinion, absolutely works and kind of steals the show compared to a lot of the pandery stuff that we're seeing from Marvel and DC so often now, where they're either taking established characters and just, swapping them, or they're making New Warriors-esque, I'm talking New Warriors-esque characters that seem like a parody. So I already kind of touched on the first one, but first, he's an original character. He's not an orientation-swapped classic character. It's not like Quentin Glass has been around for decades and they just finally decided with no prior build-up to it, you know what, hey, he's gay now, or hey, he's bi. So first off, that's a win. Second, Quentin Glass is a very complex individual. Being gay is very crucial in how the story's written and how he, as a character, is written, but it's only a small part of what makes this character. Again, so much of what we're seeing in media now, particularly in comics, Marvel, DC, whenever they have an LGBT character, they just sell it as that, Hey, we have a new gay Captain America and he's homeless. Does he have any superpowers? Yeah, he's gay and homeless. Did you not hear us? I'm sorry, he's unhoused. So again, they don't really have, typically, really good backstories, and a lot of times, like with the New Warriors, really terrible art too, just like nothing clever, nothing original, nothing that's going to last. So they either do that approach or they swap a classic character. So, recently Tim Drake, one of the Robins from DC, was announced to be bisexual, and now there's speculation on whether Jonathan Kent, Superman's son, is going to be gay, bisexual. They haven't even confirmed. But Quentin Glass in the movie, we're still on number 2. Quentin Glass in the movie, we see him execute people. He literally, again, spoilers, he murders Frank Castle's family. And he, is unfazed by it. He's a cold, just brutal guy. He commands this squad. They're all ruthless. He literally, this is a really great scene, he literally takes pliers and pulls piercings, eyebrow piercings, nose rings, lip rings. He pulls piercings out of a guy's face with pliers because the guy won't tell him where Frank Castle is, and he's trying to figure it out. And you can tell he plays it. Will Patton is the actor. It's the guy who I always associate him with this role and being one of the coaches in Remember the Titans, which is a phenomenal movie. But he plays it so well where you can tell it's like, I don't want to do this to you, but because you're making me do this, I'm not going to blink an eye. I'm going to rip these piercings out of your face until you tell me what I want to know. So again, very complex guy, many, many, many layers to this individual, but he's calm and collected while he does it. He's very intelligent. He's very composed, and this is evident throughout the whole movie. Third, setup and payoff. I'm going to talk about this a lot because this is what I try to keep in mind in my own writing, and I look at it in comics, I look at it in film, but there is a reveal at the end, and once it is revealed, you look back on the movie and you go, holy shit, they were building this up the whole time, the clues were there, and voila, it makes the reveal so much more satisfying. Now, I actually listened to this is partially what inspired this video, and then the other thing was the whole Jonathan Kent after the Tim Drake, blah, blah, blah. So I listened to one of my own videos from a few months ago that's gotten, decent traction recently, where I talk about exploitation versus representation. And I think that when they're putting out the new Warriors crap and a lot of that stuff, to me, that is exploitation. That is them, and by them I mean corporations, getting buzz by pandering and saying, look, we're catering to blank minority or blank group. And I don't think that they really care all too much. Like, they're doing it for the buzz and for the clicks and for the Twitter praise. And it just, again, it comes off very disingenuous. So I talk about how a lot of times it does seem to me to be very exploitative and not so much representative. But I gave a really great example in that video. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. Really great example where I said, I think a really good gay character or bi or, somewhere else in the LGBT community, I said it would be, if I were to write one, it'd be a complex character with a cool set of skills, cool appearance. And I think, Quentin Glass has a cool appearance, very distinct facial hair and stuff. I think he has earrings. And he's always well-dressed in the suit, but again, distinct. Cool appearance, cool set of skills, and then with that in place, you're going to actually give them a cool backstory, And as the story unravels and you learn more about them, you make an intriguing character first that's well written, and then as you learn more about them, reveal that, by the way, they're gay. I think that would be a much better way to do it, and that, again, spoilers, is what they did in this movie, perfectly. So, it's funny, even though this movie came out in 2004, they followed exactly to the T what I described in that other video, and it works so freaking well. So, again, setup and payoff. Throughout this whole movie, there's details, and it just makes it more satisfying once the actual reveal does happen. There's scenes like, for example, Howard Saint, like I said, John Travolta, he's like the big bad guy. There's a scene where he just he has his trophy wife, and he says, go dance with Lydia, or whatever the hell her name is, and he just tells Quentin, I'm busy, I need to talk to somebody about business. She wants to dance, go dance with her. So Quentin and the wife are dancing, and Howard is just staring at them, and you can tell he's watching how close they're getting, and they're whispering, and they have little secrets, and, he'll say something and she'll kind of chuckle and vice versa. You could see that Howard is very jealous because he thinks maybe she's having an affair and they're doing stuff behind his back. But later, it is revealed that she knew that Quentin was gay. Clearly, she was a sort of confidant for Quentin. And that was just one of those things where they had a very close friendship, and Howard didn't know about it because Howard didn't know as much about Quentin as he thought. So to him, an outsider, he's thinking, oh my God, there's an affair. I need to be jealous. I need to suspect something. But in reality, it was just, a gay guy who is unable to come out to his best friend / boss. But he's just having a nice, friendly moment with this woman. So moving on, because it's midnight and I am sitting in my car now cooking. I am absolutely sweating, roasting. I just got out of work and it's 100 degrees. So fourth, Quentin doesn't fall into the trap of being a blatant stereotype. Again, a lot of these other very pandery characters are coming off as being super incredibly over the top, blatantly, disturbingly, flamboyantly, stereotypical. And it's fine if you want to represent a certain community, but again, New Warriors, another perfect example, and I've mentioned that a billion times, but it is too extreme to the point where it almost comes off as being a parody. It's you're trying too hard, it's way too on the nose. Don't name your non-binary superhero Snowflake. So really quick before we move on to the last one, quick story. I have a friend named Tim. Tim's a good buddy of mine. I know him because I lived in Boston for 9 years. Tim is actually Boston PD, and he was also part of Boston SWAT. I was in the city when the marathon incident took place, and Tim was one of the SWAT guys that went into Watertown, Massachusetts, and was trying to track down one of the people responsible. Tim is short, stocky, bald, ex-Marine. He's got the Marine tattoo on his arm, and he always wore ripped sleeveless shirts in the gym. That's how I know him, is from the gym. Just burly little dude, always kind of, even when he smiled, his eyebrows were just kind of permanently he just looked sinister, and not somebody you would ever want to mess with because, again, his physical, he was short as hell. I'm 6'7". He was, I don't know, maybe 5'5". So he would always come up to me and like try to headbutt me in the chest and stuff when he was saying hi, and really nice guy, but Tim was gay. Now, I bring this up because Tim was, like I said, ex-Marine, battle-hardened, Boston PD. I mean, he'd been doing both of those things, law enforcement and military, for a long time. Tim was, I think, probably mid to late 40s last time I saw him, so he's at least mid-50s now. So Tim was a certified badass. So I bring this up because one day I was in the gym with Tim and another friend of mine who, you know, was tall, athletic, muscular guy, probably like 6'2", very, very athletic, you know, Superman stature kind of guy. And like I said, I'm 6'7". I'm pretty muscular. I'm into bodybuilding. Tim, Dan, myself, the three of us are in the gym talking, and Tim was explaining how he hated these overly flamboyant little prissy gay guys. They drove him nuts. And it was funny. This is a quote from Tim, but he's describing, he goes, if someone walked through that fucking door right now and was waving a gun and started making a fucking scene and blah, 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 he goes, I'm running to you, or I'm running to you. And he points to another big guy and he goes, or I'm running to that guy. He goes, I'm never going to go run over to Bruce. And it was funny as hell seeing Tim do a impression of a stereotypical flamboyant gay guy, because it drove him nuts. He hated that. So anyway, Quentin Glass, again, he's not in that trap of being a blatant stereotype, and it makes the story better because Frank Castle, the Punisher, manipulates Howard Saint into murdering his best friend and right-hand man, and he doesn't even suspect that he could be gay. He thinks that the guy is having an affair with Howard's wife. After murdering him, he goes after the wife. And the wife, trying to defend herself, says, she literally says this to protect herself, Quentin was gay. And his response was, you'd say anything right now, basically. So, again, this character, not only did they not fit the stereotype, you know, they withheld this from the person that they were, you know, pretty much closest to, their best friend and their boss. And that guy didn't even suspect that Quentin was gay. And that leads us into number 5, the last one. This actually tackles a real struggle that can often occur in the LGBT community. I have a gay brother, and we didn't know he was gay until I was 16. But the struggle is that some people in the gay community, bi, you know, LGBT, different parts of that spectrum, they don't always know if and when they should come out and who they should come out to. So in this case, Quentin, despite all the things he does for his boss, murdering people, like executing people, torturing people, you know, everything he does round the clock for his boss, he keeps so many secrets for his boss, and he doesn't even know if his boss, his best friend, would accept him. So he keeps his boss and best friend in the dark about the whole thing. And again, Howard Saint doesn't even suspect that Quentin could be gay, even when murdering him, and then murdering his wife, who says, hey, Quentin was gay. So, again, I think that actually tackles some legitimate, like, the stuff that Marvel and DC, and they're not the only ones, but we see it a lot there, especially lately, the stuff that they're putting out, it's trying so hard to be, quote, representative, which, like I said, I think it's more exploitative. They're trying so hard to be really on the nose with it and be like, look, this is Flamboyant Boy. He has a rainbow magical unicorn cape and he fights off homophobes. Nobody wants that, especially for Marvel and DC. Like, if some indie creator did that and had a whatever story and Image wanted to publish it or something, fine, whatever. Maybe people will buy it. But it just comes off so cheesy and so kind of in poor taste. So this was able to tackle a real scenario that somebody might actually relate to. Even though this character is one of the antagonists of the movie, as I said, this is my favorite character in the movie. I think he's complex, he's badass, and it's very fascinating to watch everything, the way he does what he does in this movie. So anyway, that is, in my opinion, a phenomenal example of writing a gay character, and we actually see it in a Marvel live-action film. And this was also way before everything was overly woke and trying to be overly politically correct. So could it be? Could it possibly be that maybe they just put this character in there because, you know, it worked in the story and, you know, they wanted to be inclusive, but they weren't, the whole movie wasn't focused around Quentin coming out of the closet or anything like that? Could it be that maybe they just included a gay character because, hey, you know what? Some people are gay. And again, hey, we can spin this and we can put it in there. It'll represent a community. And also, it'll make for a really cool plot. Let me know what you think. If you've seen the movie, do you agree that Quentin was a very well fleshed out character? Are there any other live action depictions in Marvel or DC of really well written gay characters? Or we can even take the opposite, some really poorly written characters. You know, maybe we should examine an absolute, I mean, we're getting a lot of examples of do not do this, but maybe we can explore some more. But anyway, yeah, absolutely. Let me know what you guys think. I love discussing stuff with you guys in the comments. In the last 2 weeks, the channel has more than doubled in the amount of subscribers, which is tremendous. And I can't thank you guys enough. This is awesome. So let's keep this momentum going. I like the community we're getting here. Yeah, if you're new here, throw a subscribe. If you made it this far, props to you. What do you think about my list 1 through 5? I'll talk to you guys below. Thanks for listening. All right, time to get some AC. Bye.